and how you really discern whether it's right for you. Hi, I'm Liz Dean. I'm the author of 26 divination and self-help decks and books, and I love sharing tips, techniques here and there about my practice. I've been reading cards since I was about 22, when I moved into a flat share with someone who actually could do cards, and she let me use her deck, which was a Thoth deck by Aleister Crowley, Lady Frida Harris, and I had no idea what I was doing. Absolutely not. But something felt right to me when I picked those cards up. It felt like a kind of homecoming. I can't quite explain it. And ever since then, I guess my attraction has just kind of continued, and my calling to explore cards has kind of never ended. And it's been a very, and continues to be, a very long relationship with the first deck that I bought. But I wanted to talk to you really about what it's like when you buy or are gifted or inherit, if you're lucky, a new deck, and how you really discern whether it's right for you. And I say this because a lot of students that I've worked with, taught in the past, have come along to a beginners group, and I've said, okay, what cards do you have? And it's like, well, I have these, but I don't really like them. And they think there's something wrong with them. So I just can't read them. I don't, I really want to do this, but I don't think I can. And one of these new students had a deck called the Solar Busca, which you may be aware of, which is a historical deck. It's non-standardized, so it's actually quite hard to work out what goes where. You wouldn't get a sense of theme. Now, for some people, that might actually just, resonate perfectly. But for some people, just finding something that's accessible is really important. So thing one is make sure you just love the cards. Often it's the color that speaks to you. That would be your first impression. I mean, I like the Red Rider Waite a lot, and I teach with it, but I particularly like the Universal Waite because the colors are so light. Like Queen of Pentacles here, Queen of Wands, it's just the sunshine, the brightness of it. That I feel they're very defined and very vibrant, and that works for me. More contemporary decks obviously offer all of this kind of richness of choice as well, but it needs to feel right for you. And sometimes I've been really compelled by a deck because it looks stunning. I think one was the Salvador Dali deck that I saw years ago. I really coveted this deck, but when I got it, I couldn't read with it. It was lovely to have and lovely to hold, but I just couldn't align myself with it in the way that I needed to do a reading. So I think it's making that decision between, can I read with this deck? Do I connect with it? And do I just absolutely adore and admire it? And I want to keep it, and I might pull the odd singular card just to say like this, a message for the day. Or do I just have it as part of my collection, but I read with something else? And I call those kind of workhorse decks that you spent years reading with. And because you spent years with it, it's built up such an energy imprint as well. Like I've got a very old Rider, I've got it here, a Rider here, Waite Smith deck, which was around. It's probably decided to hide now. I want to talk about it. And that, whenever I read of that, people say, oh God, this deck looks so old. Well, I've probably been reading with it for 30 years, and it's got all of me in it. It's got all of those thousands of readings that I've given in the deck. So that's something to really be aware of. I think when you get the cards, if you can handle them before you decide, but you may not have that choice, but I would just work on the energy sensing, and I would just float my hand over the top of the deck here. I can see the pile, and just see if I get a reaction. I can feel something very strong in my palm there. You may get nothing. It may feel very smooth. Energy may be spiky, but I think the important thing is that there's a visceral reaction to the deck, that it affects you physically in some way, because that's where the soul lives. If we're thinking, God, this is so beautiful, I really want to read with it, well, that can be a kind of sensory response, but it can also be kind of in your head about it, saying, wow, I think that's gorgeous. But a natural response is always the physical. So see if you get a flip in your solar plexus. See if you can feel any heat, or, you know, just feel a vibration from the deck. All you have to do is hold it like this, and then just and do it quickly. You don't have to think for ages, because the problem is the thinking. So just do it immediately. It's like if you ever want to know the answer to a question, you use a body pendulum. You just say it, close your eyes, and then see if you tip forward slightly or tip back. Forward for yes, back for no. It's just, and this wisdom is always within us. So I've got a new deck coming out really soon. I can't tell you what it is exactly yet, but I feel that this will connect with so many of you. It's all about the heart and about reading from the heart and being in that soul wisdom of the heart and the body. So I look forward to sharing that with you really soon. And in the meantime, I'll say goodbye till next time.